Welcome everyone in today's video, and now we are starting a new chapter, what is area and perimeter. So these two keywords should be easy for you. You should know them from primary school. Here I have the plan. Okay, so we can imagine I bought a land and I want to build a house, and this is my plan. Okay, and what's the difference between area and perimeter? Okay, so area is everything in here. Okay, this is how big is my land and how big will be my house. Okay, everything inside, that's the area, the size of a surface. Okay, the size of my land and the size of my house, and also the size of my garage. Okay, what is a perimeter? Perimeter is all around it. If I want to put the fence all around my land, I need to measure this land, this land, this land, this land, and this land, and add it up. And this is the perimeter, okay? All around my land. Okay? Okay, so let's start with counting area. So here we have a rectangle, and we put it on the grid, okay? And we need to find the area. What's in the area? So as we know, the area is everything inside, okay? So how many squares? We have squares here, so we can count the squares. How many squares does it have inside? Okay, so we have 5 in here in a row and 3 in a column, so we have 15 all together. Okay. Of course, we won't be counting squares all the times. We will be using formulas. Okay. So in here we can just simple count all the squares, or we can look at the photo and say, okay, we have 5 in here and 3 in here, and 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. So 5 multiplied by 3 is 15, and we have 15 units, 15 squares. Okay, and 15, this is the answer for area. If you want to find a perimeter, we need to know what is it. So perimeter is the sum of the length of all sides. Okay, so here we have 5, here we have 3, so we need to add all of them, not only 5 and 3, but all around. Okay, perimeter is all around. So we have 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and it's 16. Okay, so area is 15, perimeter is 16. Area is everything inside, perimeter is all around. Okay. Okay, so now I'll show you formulas for simple 2D shapes, and you need to learn of them by heart. Okay. So here we have a square. As you know, square has all 4 the same sides and 4 right angles. So how would you find area? Area is length by length. Okay, we can call it small l, and as we know, all of them are the same, so we have L everywhere. So the formula for area is L multiplied by L, and this is the same as L squared. Okay, and perimeter, as you know, it's all around. We need to add all the sides all together. Okay, and here we have 4 multiplied by length, and this is 4L. So the formula for area is L squared, or L multiplied by L, and perimeter 4L. So you need to take it down into your copies, make sure your drawings are nice and neat, okay, and you have all formulas in your copy and in your head for tomorrow. So here we have a rectangle, and then if we want to find the area of the rectangle, we know it's everything inside. So as we did on the first photo when we had a grid and we were counting all the squares, and here we can just multiply the length by the width, and then we can just name it L and W, and then the formula is L multiplied by W, or we can write down LW as well, okay? But you need to know what does it mean. L is for length and W for width, okay? And then perimeter is all around it, so we need to add all of them. So we have L plus W plus L plus W. This is the same as 2L plus 2 W's, okay? Okay, and here we have parallelogram, and it's a bit similar to rectangle, okay? So if you could imagine that we will just cut off this little piece, this little triangle, and put it in here, then what we'll have? We have exactly a rectangle, okay? And the formula for finding area is the length by width, okay? But what is it in this 2D shape, okay? In here, we don't use the name length, we use it as a base, okay? This is the base and this is the base. And this is not a width, that's a height. And the height is perpendicular to the base, okay? So in here, the formula is the base multiplied by perpendicular height, okay? And then we have BH, B multiplied by H. And this is the B as well, they're the same. Then we have this side, and let's call it C. We can call it C as well. Then how to find the perimeter? As we know, it's all around the shape. We need to add all of the length of all the sides. So there we go, B plus C plus B plus C. And we'll get 2B plus 2C, okay? We can name it X, Y, whatever you wish. But this is B as a base, so let's stick with that. And H, we can mark it in here, or we can mark it in here or in here, and this is height, okay? And there we go, triangle, okay? So the area for the formula for area of the triangle is 1/2 multiplied by the base and multiplied by perpendicular height. Okay, so if we didn't have 1/2, let's say we have just base by height. So what is it? The base by height is a formula for area of the parallelogram. Okay, so let's say we have a parallelogram here, and this is the base and this is the height, okay? And the formula for area is base multiplied by height, okay? Why in here, in triangle, we have 1/2? It's very simple. We can divide it into two exactly the same parts, and what we'll get? We'll get two triangles, exactly the same triangles, okay? That's why the formula for triangle is the same as the formula for the parallelogram, and divided by 2 or multiplied by 1/2, okay? So we can also write down the area for a triangle is base multiplied by height divided by 2, or 1/2 multiplied by base multiplied by height, okay? And the perimeter is the sum of all three sides, okay? So it might be named ABC or XYZ, and when we know how long are they, we can just simply add them up together, okay? When looking at the triangles, we have a few key points we need to talk about, okay? So first of all, when we have a triangle, we have three bases, okay? So any sides might be a base, doesn't matter, okay? any of them might be called the base. And then we need to find the perpendicular height. So if we name this side base, we need to find the perpendicular height. When we need use this base, we need to find the perpendicular height. We cannot use the other height for it, okay? The formula says base multiplied by perpendicular height, okay? And the same in here. The next thing, when we have the right angle triangle, okay, as we have here, this is the base and this is the height. This side is actually the height, okay? When we flip it a little bit, this might be this base, but then this side is a height. They are perpendicular, okay? And the last time when we have an obtuse angled triangle, like we can see here, if that's the base, we need to find the perpendicular height. And the height goes from the vertex. It doesn't go from here, okay? Always from the vertex down there, perpendicularly to the base, okay? So let's do the first example. We need to find the area and perimeter of the following, okay? First of all, we have a triangle in here. So let's start with the formula, okay? Always start with the formula. And the formula for area is 1/2 multiplied by the base and multiplied by perpendicular height, okay? And the base is in here. So this is the base and this is the perpendicular height, okay? Going from the vertex to the height, to the base, okay? So we have the base and we have the height, and the height is 4. So now B is 6 centimeters and H is 4 centimeters, okay? And you will get marks for it and you will get marks for it. So everything has to be written into your copy and on the page, on the test. Then, what to do? Instead of letters, we need to use numbers and put the numbers into the formula, okay? So we don't have B anymore, we have 6, and instead of H, we can write on 4. So area is 1 second multiplied by 6 and multiplied by 4. And then we have centimeters and centimeters, okay? So we have half of 6, or 1 second multiplied by 6, that's 6/2, that's 3, and 3 multiplied by 4, it's 12. And then we have centimeters multiplied by centimeters, okay, and that's centimeters squared. And it's really, really important. The area is always in units squared, okay? So don't forget to write down little square beside the unit, okay? It might be centimeters, meters, millimeters, but always write down square here, okay? Then the next thing, we need to find the perimeter of it, and perimeter is the length of all the sides, okay? So here we have 6, here we have 3, that's the side, and here we have 10, and we need to add them up, okay? Always the same formula, adding up all the lengths, okay? So then we have perimeter, and perimeter is 6 centimeters plus 3 centimeters plus 10 centimeters. It's 19 centimeters. It's not square, it's just centimeters because we were adding it, okay? And then we have the next one, okay, so let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and here we have the next shape, and this is the parallelogram, okay, and the formula for the area is B multiplied by H, so base multiplied by H, okay? Area is base multiplied by H. This is the base, and this is H, okay? And we know B is 7 centimeters, H is 4 centimeters, and then we need to just multiply it, okay? So area is 7 centimeters multiplied by 4 centimeters, and that's 28 centimeters squared. Okay, make sure you have the same unit. Okay, if you have centimeters and meters, you need to change them to have the same units. And then perimeter, you need to just simple add all the lengths of the sides. Okay, so we have 7, 5, 7, 5. 7 centimeters plus 5 centimeters plus 7 centimeters plus 5 centimeters. Of course, you can make it shorter. You can write down 2 multiplied by 7 plus 2 multiplied by 10 centimeters, and then we have 14 centimeters plus 10 centimeters. That's 24 centimeters. Okay, so make sure you know all the formulas, you know all the letters, you know what they stand for. So in here you have all the formulas. Okay, square, rectangle, triangle, parallelogram. You need to learn them off by heart, and you need to know what's the difference between area and perimeter and how to find them. Okay. And for the learning check, please try to find the area of the following shapes. Okay, so make sure you have your formula first, then put the numbers into formula and then find the area. Okay, so see you tomorrow.